Hey guys, Tank here. This is another RC talk, and hopefully lots of people are going to join. To join, the link is into this invite of this RC talk, and I also put it on my Google Plus page. So you guys want to join in and chit chat live? Just keep in mind this is recorded and to be rebroadcast in the future on my YouTube channel. So let's start chit-chatting, and I believe we have Cappy with us, but his mic is muted. So today, open floor, we can talk about pretty much anything. What I'm going to do while we're chit-chatting, I'm going to work on a couple of my trucks, like the SCX-10 that I have here. I have to fix the body. The window, the post keeps coming down because it flips so often. It's probably because I don't know how to drive, but I never said that. But it went through the post, so my wife just went like this. She went upstairs and she went like this. In other words, either bye-bye or you talk a lot, one or the other. So now the post actually keeps coming down. So I'm going to try to do something to stop it from going down. Either put a washer or put something. Anyways, I'll be creative. So this is my SCX-10. I've had it for almost 2 years now. It's been doing really good. Did a bunch of mods to it. I put some light kits, put a bunch of stuff. Under it, I have my underlighting that I put. It's waterproof, and I have a light control. And I got the battery up front. What I did is I used some Ziploc pots. I can't remember the size of them, but I've used them. I've seen a lot of guys use a round one. I like the square one because it looks truer, and they're cheap. I know that now that they have a full underbody, it protects a little bit better. I did get some metal guard done rock guard for it, custom bumper. And Cappy is with us. He turned on his mic.
I was experiencing a few technical difficulties. It's just going to be audio today. Can you hear me perfectly?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Because I got a new computer and it's not a desktop, so I don't have a webcam, and I don't have a microphone for it, so I'm just using my phone, and the camera on it's really crappy. So I just decided to do only audio, though I may or may not have a lot of stuff to say.
That's okay. I know that one of the guy wanted me to do an RC talk tonight, and so did Jack from Outback Jack. We're having a big adventure right now. Jack from Australia sent a little guy, which we all call Outback Jack, so he's been sending them around the world. And I was the first stopped, and now he's like at the fifth or seventh stopped, and looks like he's going to be there, not there where he is, but around the world, maybe till next December. But Jack can't wait to get him back, and the guy that actually made the little guy also is going to touch him up once he gets there. So, what have you been working on, Cappy?
Well, a multitude of things. My Project Cappy Crawler, and I also got a free helicopter. It's like, I'd give it 15 years old or so, maybe 20. So that one, it's going to cost like, it needs a new ESC and some support pieces for the gyro system.
So it needs a new ESC? It's very old chopper?
Yeah.
Where did you pick that up? You found that at a garage sale or from a friend, or?
It's my dad was helping some of my well, his friends move. So and they were pretty much cleaning out the house that they were moving into, and there was an old helicopter, and it was either going to get thrown away or it was, I was going to get it. So, I
Cool.
got it. But I'd give it about $50 worth of parts put into it, but I don't even know how much it's really going to be.
Okay.
Because the person who had it last actually crashed it. And it just so happened to be that this was his first helicopter. And let's just say a $450 helicopter is not what you want to start off with.
No, not for your first chopper.
No.
There is a flight sim. If ever you want to start flying a helicopter, a lot of people recommend that you actually buy yourself a flight simulator for the RCs and actually fly that. And you can really learn a lot from that without, and it's just crashing virtual RCs, so you don't have to pay a lot of money when you crash it.
Yeah. I've also been working on a video today. Unfortunately, that is like really frustrating because when I got all the files loaded onto my video editor, it said they were all corrupted. So it's probably something wrong with the video editor in general.
Okay.
But it was like I finally got my short course truck running, and what was wrong with that is I needed just one of the pieces for the steering links. It's like this little ball set that it's a ball and socket joint on the steering.
Okay.
It disappeared when I last crashed it into like I think it was sandbox.
Okay.
And that was the first time it actually happened. So it's weird. You always break the parts that you never have.
That's true. You always try to keep some spare parts around and thinking, okay, this is the part that's going to break the most, and all of a sudden something else breaks and you don't have that part.
So when I went to the hobby shop to get it, I also got some parts for the Cathy crawler, and I got a spur gear and a pinion gear, and it's just one problem with that. The spur gear is just a bit too large from what I need it to be, but I'm just tired of trying to find a small enough spur gear, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a new transmission
Okay.
because the transmission is pretty small. And
That's
it's
for your Cathy crawler.
yeah.
Cool. James Hunt just joined us.
It's of the nervous system or something. The uncontrollable.
What are? I think he's talking about something else. So, James, what are you working on?
Hey.
Hey, Mr. Hunt, I'll present you to everybody so it doesn't keep switching. What are you working on? Double clodbusters?
Not Clodbuster this time. It was, I don't know what it was. I have to look it up here.
So it's a bunch of hard bodies. So looks like you got a bunch of hard bodies.
Oh yeah, I got mostly all Clod bodies.
I actually like the new Trail Finder. Not for the Trail Finder 2. It's the Jimmy body, the new one that they came out for the Trail Finder. It looks nice. The old Jimmy, it looks really
Yeah,
good.
it's nice to see that in a hard body now.
Yeah. But I'm waiting for the Canadian dollar to get a little stronger. Because right now, for me to
Yeah,
buy
it was rough there
$100,
for a bit.
hey, you what? I didn't get that.
So
What you said.
I said it was rough there for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of people are waiting to buy stuff for until the Canadian dollar gets stronger.
Yeah, well, for me to buy $100, I have to spend 150. I don't feel like it. I'll wait.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm looking for my 4mm washer. I know I have some somewhere.
So while I was at the hobby shop, I saw this. It was one of the monster trucks from Red Cat Racing. It was the
Okay.
ground pounder, and it was probably the most ridiculous looking, not really ridiculous looking, but kind of impractical vehicle I've ever seen.
Really?
And that's because it mostly had to do with the tires. The tires are foamless, which the tires are also really soft compound.
Okay.
So that I can see that posing a lot of difficulties, I guess.
Yeah, it could cause some problem, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of problems. I can see a bunch of stuff going wrong right there. And they were breathable too.
Okay.
I also saw the Axial Yeti Score trophy truck, which was very impressive, to say the least.
Okay.
But I've actually heard quite a few bad things about that particular, well, the Axial Yeti in general, recently. So $500 could probably be spent better elsewhere.
Well, the axle Yeti has, especially for jumping, has a problem for the rear axle. It keeps breaking. That's why a lot of people are switching the axle from the axle Yeti to a better axle. But you're jumping these things pretty high. They take a lot of abuse.
And they're not really meant for jumping.
No.
If you think about it.
Well, a trophy truck would have to be, because a trophy truck really has to jump a lot. I've seen like trophy truck jump like crazy. Rock racers, they don't jump a lot, but they crawl over the rocks, but they don't do high jumps.
I'm trying to think of what the Cappy Crawler is going to end up becoming once I'm done with
Okay.
project in general, because truthfully I'm never going to stop adding on to it. It's, guess you could say the beauty of the hobby.
Yeah. What I'm doing to fix the body is basically the body, when it comes with this body of the XXN, it comes with a screw, and it has a big washer. What I'm doing is I'm putting two other big washers on the other side, because now it actually went through the body. So I'm using two other big washers to put on either side of the body. So until it pops through that again, I'll be rolling at least a little bit and see how long this lasts. I guess it's not supposed to go act like a turtle as much as it does.
So does like the windshield like flip down or something, like a military Jeep, I guess?
No, not these.
No.
It's just abuse, and all the weight of the truck when you flip it just hits, and it just goes through. It just goes through the body. So next body I take, hey?
You need some duct tape.
Duct tape, yeah. It might have helped.
That's what I do with my with my short course truck. Duct tape fixes everything. Almost everything.
Yep.
I think if I keep my camera still and try to limit the motion, or the motion of the camera, I can show you the helicopter.
Yeah, you can try.
But
did you get the model number of it?
Really, my camera is surprisingly pretty high quality on my phone. It's just that it doesn't handle motion very well. That's the only problem. So it makes everything all blurry.
Did you get the model number of your chopper, the new one?
Well, yeah, I'll get it and see if I can get it to work. Or the camera, really. Well, hang on. There, I guess.
Yeah.
But the there's a other side of this right here. As you can, like right here, this piece, kind of right there, this broke off on this side. It's kind of hard to get my camera positioned, but
Okay.
it's kind of hard. Yeah, it broke off, so I have to replace that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get aluminum. So that's $20 for the entire top assembly right there. And there may or may not be some bent pieces still right in here because it's kind of a little unbalanced, and that's really bad. But I'm guessing when the guy crashed it, he burnt up the ESC because the ESC, it won't respond to motor input. And what's funny is with this, trying to move it, is it requires right here a battery input, and it's not from the ESC. The ESC connects to a different input, and you have to have an external battery to input to the radio, which I find is really strange. Also, when it was crashed, the support piece right here was bent. And I'm not really sure if that's not much of a... It can be. Maybe. I also have to get new blades for it, because those are kind of not really shattered, they're just not in a good condition anymore.
Okay. Best thing to do is find a model number, find the instruction book for it, or the new model that replaces it, and like that you can start rebuilding it.
Well, I already know the model of it. It's the Wakura 68B Dragonfly, I think.
Okay.
And I've got the manual on hand. So that doesn't say anything about the ESC or something. It's really, honestly, it's got nothing about exploded diagrams or anything of that sort, and I've checked everywhere. It's no longer production. But you can
Yeah,
find...
back then I don't think they had exploded diagram.
What did you say?
You're cutting out real bad. I cannot hear you.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah, you were cutting out real bad. I lost a lot of your conversation.
Okay. Let's see. I've got the manual for it. It's just that it's no longer in production, and the manual is kind of vague when it comes to parts and stuff. It really, all it has is how to fly it and pretty much controls, and that's actually pretty much all there is in it. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, back then they didn't make the manuals like they do now, so you might have a problem getting it, or find somebody that knows that ESC, or find a model number of that ESC and look on the spec of that ESC, and then you can find more instruction on how to hook it up.
It's obviously not production.
No, the ESC neither.
But
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it a lot. It's better than I know. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think
There, I'm ready for some tumbles again. I lent my truck to my brother. He went in the woods and he lost my mirror. So now I only got one mirror on one side. Looks like the older cars. That's how the older cars used to be. They only had to use they only had a mirror on the passenger side, not on the driver's side.
Why on the passenger side and not the driver's?
Because driver, you can just turn your head, you see if there's a car beside you, but on the passenger, it's a little tougher.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be. Now, where is my other truck? Now, some of you might have seen this. That's the newest little guy in my little collection.
It's pretty cool.
So it used to be a drag, well, it's still a drifter, but the guy that had it before actually started putting this body on, and because the ESC in the E10 and the controller, there's a plate on the side, and it really sits it high. He cut up the whole body. He had to actually remove the driver's seat, had the driver's seat completely out, and he put the steering wheel on the other side. So now my Jeep actually has a steering wheel on this side, so it's on the other side. So, and it's basically has almost zero suspension. I'll put that on me so it doesn't switch again. At the back we have suspension just like normal. At the front I am probably going to give it a little bit more body, so it lifts up just a little tiny bit, so I can have a little bit of suspension. But a drifter, you're going to have a little bit of sway, but it's just going to rub on the body. It's just going to stop, so it shouldn't be that bad. Lost a headlight. Now I got to make a new one.
And that should be fine.
But my little guy really likes this one. He kind of finds it cool.
I think it's pretty cool. It looks like familiar from somewhere. I don't know where, but it just does for some reason. I think it's that the checkered roof. I think I saw the checkered roof on like another car with a similar design, except for more of like a rat rod look on.
Yeah, there's a couple of people with rad rods that actually use this checkered on it.
Yeah. But I think I saw it on one of RC Spark's drifting videos.
Yeah, it was a rat rod. It's the guy that made that rat rod from a car not like this, but I can't remember the name brand. But yeah, I know what you mean. But what was funny with this truck, and I had to get creative a little bit on it, also, is that the guy, when I got this truck, it's a used car, had no electronics. Had no electronics, so I had to get creative, and so now all the electronics is very low. Usually the electronics sat higher on a plate that used to be the height of this receiver, and all the electronics used to be on that, but now everything is nice and low. But what I actually ended up doing on this is actually putting here and here, these are body posts, and I used a body post to actually hold on to the servo. Because I had other servo from other kits, like the SCX10 and all that, but every time I tried to put it, it didn't match with the holes, and the motor was in the way. So it just didn't fit. And then I was going through my bags of extra hardware or extra plastic, and then I saw those, and I said, hey, wait a minute. So I decided to use that. Also, the battery tray was actually meant for NIM batteries because you have the bumps, and they're not meant for the square. So I actually had to take my Dremel and in the case actually cut off the part where it actually holds the bumps. And this, I flipped it around, and now I'm using it the other way to hold the battery down. Now I can put my square batteries in there. And this thing is actually 3S compatible now, and before it was just 2S. I haven't tried it yet with 3S. It's going to go way too fast. For some people, there's no such thing as way too fast. Let me take it off of me for presentation. So what kind of Bondo are you using, James? Or what is that stuff you're using to hide the cracks? Oh, James has his mic muted. What is that stuff you're using, the brown stuff?
It's, I use it after I've done all styrene work and stuff inside, putting it all together.
Okay.
But then I just use a 3M Bondo spot putty. But I use everything from a JB Weld and the Elmer's stuff.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
And
You're
they say,
cutting out
you know, there's all
what was
kinds of
that
stuff
putty
that
name?
doesn't work. I found this stuff at the dollar store.
What was the putty name? You were cutting out real bad there.
See if I can open it up.
A 3M glaze. Okay, it's a 3M product.
It's a 3M.
Yeah. Cool.
I was just saying about the model glue.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a glue. It's
I
not
buy it at the dollar store.
That's a glue, not a putty.
Yeah, I use this on the styrene.
Okay, on the styrene?
All inside here.
Okay, okay. Helps.
All these pieces. And
It
then I'll
helps
use
hold the pieces down. Cool.
I don't know where my other stuff went. Oh. And then I use a JB Weld on top of everything.
Doesn't that make it hard to sand?
Well, I got a Dremel, so
Okay.
this helps a lot.
Yeah, Dremels do. Ooh.
I guess that would.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, you got a couple bodies there.
Those two
So all
bodies,
finished?
they're right here.
Okay. That's one. That's both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I got a topper I'm still working on.
Nice.
Oh, look, I actually cut an inch off. The nose was out here,
Really?
and I cut it off, glued it back. So
Now,
it's got a shorter nose on it now.
you're doing that so it fits the body better, the frame?
Well, I
And
did it
which
more
frame are you-
for looks because
More for looks, okay.
it just looks so long,
Okay.
right?
And looks like you changed the wheel wells also. You
Same
made
with
the
this one. I just
bigger so you can put 2.2s.
yeah, they're nicer now. Same with this one was a quad, but I just cut the nose off and moved it
Cool.
back.
Cool.
More of a stubby look.
Yeah. I like those LEDs in your garage. They look good.
Squares are they're just little. They use them in the lights in the roof, the big
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah.
I just cut individual little squares off, sanded them down,
Cool.
stuck them in there. It
Yeah,
worked.
just get it. Cool.
On the other side of the garage, I got my TV and all the other stuff.
Cool. And we have Jack from RCFP Vids that just joined us, and we have Ethan also that actually joined us. Hi, guys.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey,
I was just showing my little E10 that I finished rebuilding.
Yeah, I was sticking around for that.
I lost a headlight this week. Now I'm going to have to come up with a different way of making one. I'm sure I can come up with something. Now I got to make a video with this guy.
So,
A drifting video, but I don't know how to drift, so it's going to be a funny video.
Yeah, the learning process.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a little bit difficult getting into drifting.
Well, I tried it a little bit. I got a TT01. I got a TT01, and I tried it last year real quick. The basic problem I have on I used to do some dirt racing on the RCs and even track racing with the little RC cars, not professional, just for fun with my brothers. And the difference between drifting and racing is that you don't steer the same way. You can't, because when you're in the curve, you actually got to steer compared not into the curve. You got to steer away from the curve. It's like that, you're drifting, you're sliding, but you got to turn into the curve, out of the curve. I mean. So it is different, and I tried that for about an hour or two, I think, at the track, and I said, okay, this is enough there. I'm going to go back to racing. That was a big mistake on that day, I mean, because, man, I was banging on the walls all over the place because for trying to drift for the last 2 hours, I tried to race again. I was all, like, lost almost. It was like, whoa, it's almost as if you want to do one, pick one, don't try to do both.
So your drift car, is that all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or do you have the kind of counter steer?
No counter steer, no nothing on this. This is stock HPI E10, which is a 4x4. It was built stock from HPI to be a drifter. I have no idea if the guy changed any gears on here. I doubt it, because the guy, when he sold me the 2 trucks, he told me the electronics started bugging on me and I don't know how to fix it. So he is not a technical guy. So I doubt that he changed anything on this. So it's probably a stock HPI E10. He was good with his hands, so that's why he started making the body for it, or he found this body and he started doing some change with it. So I doubt there's any change on here, but there's no counter steer. As far as I know, there's nothing changed in the gear ratios from front to rear. So it's just regular 4x4. And he's kind of got a, you can't really see it, but there's electrical tape holding the front windshield here down, and like that you can actually bring the windshield. So it kind of gives it a cool look.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I had a piece of Scotch tape holding it down because it's clear and you can't see it. So.
So I've come to a conclusion.
Uh-oh.
If you want to buy 4S, or a 4S battery, don't buy just a 4S battery. You're going to blow out your bank. Buy two 2S batteries.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of just a theory, because you can get a 3S battery for 6,000 milliamp hour for like $60, whereas you can get a 2S battery for 6,000 milliamp hour for 25. Or not 25, but like 30. But, you know, still, it's like half the price.
Mm-hmm.
The same amperage.
Okay, but it's half the price, but you need to do, it's still only 2S. It's not 3S or 4S.
Yeah.
But if you take a 2S, is it going to fit in your truck compared to a 4S? Because I know 4S you can have different sizes, just like the 2S.
What was that last part?
If you buy two 2S, will it fit in your truck instead of putting a 4S? And where would you want to put a 4S? And what kind of truck would you want to put a 4S in?
Well, it's just like, you know, if you want to do it. It's one of those things.
Okay. I know some ESCs takes 4S, takes 6S. I know my my big truck, the Summit, takes 4S. They say it can do 5S. Yeah, 5S, which is kind of crazy. You'd put a 3S on one side and a 2S on the other side. But one thing you got to be careful, and when you do two batteries like that and you put in them in, I think it's serial, that you don't double the voltage, is you might make sure they're both the same batteries that has the same discharge rate. So don't buy a brand A and a brand B battery that are different, and you've got to make sure that they're the same milliamp. So if you put a 6,000, put it with a 6,000. Don't put a 3,000 and a 6,000 in your truck. You can, but if you do, put an alarm on it. Those little LiPo alarms that you can put
Yeah,
that on, because your truck, you're going to drain one battery a heck of a lot faster than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Just be careful, because that's how you chew up a battery and blow up a battery very fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's mostly how you kill your battery permanently.
Yep.
I almost had that happen to me. I put my truck away, except for I forgot to turn it off, so it had, and this, the radio was, you know, had the universal, or not the universal, never mind. It had the pretty much the linking to the transmitter. I turned the transmitter off, so it basically was sending out signals trying to find the transmitter all night long, and it drained the battery almost to dead. So I had to do something risky, which is where I plugged it in on NIM mode for only like a couple of minutes, and then I hope that it had risen above like 3.1 volts or so. Continue charging it on the LiPo mode. Blech.
Yeah, I've done that once or twice. Drained a battery too much, either on the test bench or whatever. And if you do put it on your charger, yeah, you can put on the NIM and leave it on your charger for a few minutes. But just be very careful that you don't walk away and forget it. because it could blow up.
Hmm.
Do any of you guys use like safety pouches for your batteries, or what do you guys use?
Yeah, I have a safety pouch.
I don't have a safety pouch because really none of my batteries are all damaged. They're actually very good condition. But I do have, again, like peak detecting charge, and I don't normally leave them charging on the charger all day. Even if it has a peak detecting charge, it does shut off. But just in case if something strange happens, like some sort of malfunction and it doesn't cut off, that's kind of dangerous to do. So I just take it out once it's done completely charging.
Like, get your dad to buy a pouch like this. They're $5 or $6. Even if your batteries are brand new, put it in a pouch. It's gonna really save unless you charge up in the garage or whatever. But if you're in a house, use a pouch. Be safe.
Yeah,
Even if your batteries are new or they're in good condition, you never know. A battery can last you 2 or 3 years, or a battery could pop on the second charge or even on the first charge. You never know.
I
It's
mean,
electronics.
it's a $5 pouch
Yeah.
versus a fire, so
Or what you could also do is, I saw the guys from Flight Test do this. If any of you know them, what they did is they took this cylinder block and they had the sandbag over it. So once when if the lipo, excuse me, would overcharge and blow up, it would melt the bag of from the sand or the sandbag, and the sand would smother out the fire because you can't use water to put out a lipo fire, but you can use sand.
Yeah. And don't do like I do. When I charge my battery, I would say 40% of the time when I charge my battery and I'm there, this is how I charge my battery. I use my lipo bag. This is how I use my lipo bag. Don't do that. Put it in there. It takes 5 seconds. I'm lazy, but I'm learning.
Yeah, that'll be a hard habit to get into when I get one. Now, um, if I wasn't like short on funds right now, and because I'm kind of short on funds until midsummer or so, due to some just personal reasons, but my dad would probably get one like right now. But that will be a hard habit to get into when I do get one.
Well, once it catches fire and your dad notices that or your mom notices that, when you have to not be allowed to have that in your house anymore, then it's going to be, you would have said, ah, shit, I should have used something, or shit, I should have put it in the garage charging or whatever. But then it's usually too late.
Well, honestly, I would rather have it in the house because where it is, it's actually ironically right next to a fire extinguisher. And if it goes in the garage, it's gonna blow up all the gasoline that's in there for the equipment. So
Well,
that would be a lot worse.
a LiPo battery usually produces a lot of heat, but it's right there where the battery is. But it does produce a lot of smoke and a lot of stinking smoke. It stinks like crazy. One of my buddy, his LiPo battery blew up in his car. It was Chris from GCM Racing. They came from an event. They loaded all his battery was in perfect shape. It was almost new. He loaded all his truck in his car, left the battery in his car, and then went in the hotel. Next morning, when they got out to the car, they noticed kind of a haze in the car. So they opened up the door, and the smell was just bad. The battery, the truck was in the trunk, and the smoke. The battery is going to start smoking a lot, and then puff up, smoke, puff up. But the good thing, I think, why it didn't catch as much on fire is because it smoked so much and it was in the trunk. The smoke actually took all the oxygen away. So that's why his car didn't catch on fire, because it was all enclosed. So it couldn't catch on fire. There was no air. But the battery did burn enough that it burnt most of his truck. but it didn't catch the rest of the car on fire, which was a good thing.
What I don't get is why lipos won't go out in water, but I mean, I know it's that they're a chemical and like an electrical fire. I'm not really sure if that's
It's
true.
more just, it's just chemical. It is chemical.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. But if there is no oxygen in the atmosphere for it to burn, then wouldn't it do the same underwater? Or would it, but I'm thinking that it might be taking the oxygen from the water molecules itself.
well, the electrical is, it's like an arc. It's like a big shock. It's an arc, so it's gonna do its arc. But if there's no air, it's just gonna do the arc. It's not gonna. I'm not a lipo expert or anything like that. I just know that it's just that big burst of arc. That's what causes the kind of the explosion that it does. A lot of people, when you see them on YouTube and take a nail and drive it through the lipo, and then you start seeing the sparks, and then it starts puffing up, and then the smoke, and then it just catches on fire. Of course, if you do that in the sand, it's going to be less of a fire, but you're still going to have that chemical explosion of the arc that's going to happen either underwater or under the sand. Even though you don't have the oxygen, you're still going to have that charge and that goes.
Yeah.
So this is the Wheelie King. A lot of you might have known the Wheelie King or Crawler King. The difference between a Wheelie King and a Crawler King. The Crawler King, they've extended the wheelbase, I think by about an inch or two, and the battery is actually in the front on the Crawler King. In the Wheelie King, it's in the back, so it makes it heavier at the back. So that's one of the main difference. I had a Wheelie King, I converted to a Crawler King, so everything I had to do is I had to take the steering link and move it to the rear axle, because the rear and front are both front steering if you want them, which I've turned in mine. And you turn the whole body around. It's kind of easy to do. And change the link and change the drive shaft, and I was off to the races. I had my Crawler King instead of the Wheelie King. I wasn't using my Wheelie King anymore. It wasn't fun. So I converted to a Crawler King. Now I got a second Crawler King. This one's probably going to go up for sale.
Also, doesn't the Wheelie King have differentials that aren't locked? So
Differential that are, yeah, they are not locked. That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I bought the conversion kit, I had to put lockers into my into the axles. That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, were you just putting a locker in, or were you actually replacing all of the differential gears with a spool?
No, you just for the conversion kit from a Wheelie King to a Crawler King, they gave you a locker. It looks almost like the locker from Axial, but it's it's a cross. You take your axle apart and you take your diffs out and you actually put it back in. You put the cross instead of the diff that's in there.
There's also an easy way to lock the diffs and still keep the diffs. What you do is, I saw this on one of Rich's videos for 2RC Productions. He took one of the bevel gears. He had an extra one of the bevel gears that go inside of the differential, and he just put it into it, so it pretty much canceled out all the movement inside of them.
Yep. So yeah, I paid the extra, and I got the whole kit, which has my link. It had my new tires. It had the diff. It had everything in there. But I did keep my old diffs in a bag. If ever I want to put it back, I can. So that's the Crawler King.
Excuse you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so right now I'm starting to build a Jeep Cherokee.
See, this is the Wheelie King, but now a crawler king. But like you can tell, and I made a video playing in the mud with it, the rear wheel actually turns, and the front wheels actually turn also.
I've got four-wheel steering on my truck too. What I did is I took one of the free servos I got from one of the guys from Google Plus, and I had to fabricate a link, which pretty much all I did was take a piece of aluminum and bend it 90 degrees, so I had a link, and then I also had to build another motor mount, or not a motor mount, but a servo mount for it, which is, again, pretty easy.
Okay.
Well, I also had to splice the wires for the servos because I didn't have a fourth channel. Yeah, a third channel on my receiver or my radio really for the extra servo. So I just spliced the wires and it made sure that the servos were in the correct positioning, and it worked surprisingly.
Cool. And Jack, are you there, Jack?
Yeah, there you go.
So what have you been working on? I know you have a new truck, that new, that's not a Dakar, but it's a,
VW2 rig.
yeah. How's that? That's a 4x4, right?
Yeah.
Who makes that?
Charisma. I did have. How you going, guys? I was muted before. Sorry. I had a Charisma short course truck. I think you would have seen it about over a year ago now. Which is it's a similar sort of setup to what this is, but the chassis is a lot smaller. It's about a 370 mil chassis, so it's quite small. But I actually got it because it was on sale, and I just like the scale of it. I mean, the body's really good. I've just put some. Oh, you already know this, but I've put some. I changed out the shocks last night. I got some 60 mil alloy shocks for it, so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually do a trail video. I'm just charging the battery up for it now, and I'm gonna get some zoom shots and stuff like that, like I did with my VE Ute on the road. So I did a quick bashing video the other day when I got it, and I just like the scale of it, but it's quite small. I can't see how they're calling this a 110. To me, it's about a 114.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm spending more money, yep, as usual.
So if you put that car beside the Slash,
She wouldn't
it's
eat
going to be
her.
much smaller.
It'll be probably half the
Kill
size.
it, but she wouldn't eat it.
I
Yeah,
didn't
just
hear what
chase
you
it
said.
around, let it go, chase it around that road.
The tank. If I put it beside my Slash, it'll be not even half the size.
Okay.
That's how small it is. So to me, I can't see how it's a 110 scale. How they're
Well,
calling it a
if you
110.
really, a lot of people, that's what they do is they look more at the size of the truck compared to what it is really in real life. If you put a car beside a short course truck, a real life short course truck, those things are huge.
Mm, mm.
They're really wide and they're really long, and
Yeah,
they're friggin' huge. I've seen people standing beside them. Man, those things are big.
yeah. If you're gonna go by the one by one scale, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially like Axial, how they do that, how they have the Jeep Rubicon on the same platform as the Power Wagon, and it's the same wheelbase too. Actually, the Power Wagon would be much larger and full scale just because of it's a pickup truck, and you'll notice on the body that the Power Wagon is much narrower, just
Yep.
so that they can make it fit to the right dimensions.
You know, it's also funny because if my short course truck was a real short course truck, like if I were to scale it up all the way to 1:1, even the speed, it would pretty much be like 250 miles. It would go 250 miles an hour. Well, that's how unproportionate the speeds are.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like the out of box slash 4x4s that are going 60 miles an hour. That'd be like 600 miles an hour in real life. So I mean,
Yeah, let's not even get started about the Traxxas X01. You know, I saw this one video where this one guy took an X01 and he made it go 130 miles an hour.
Oh, really? An X01.
Yeah, you can probably guess that it wasn't really prepared for that, because when he went it was like this straight, it kind of looked like he was going downhill, but then it leveled off. His entire front of the car just picked up and flipped like multiple times.
Really?
It didn't even look like he was on a, it didn't even look like he was, you know, it was obviously in slow motion, so. But it was insane. I think you can search it up on YouTube. It's a 130 mile an hour plus Traxxas X01 crash.
Oh, yeah? So he did crash it?
Yeah, he crashed it. The entire thing just, it backflipped because the front of the car was picking up a bit too much air.
I hear
Honestly,
you.
if I could get an X01 to go that fast, I'd be engineering my own.
James, I had to mute you. You're making a lot of noise while Cappy's trying to talk.
so Mr. Tank here, I see you got quite a bit of projects going on right now.
Too many. Sometimes I don't know where to throw myself.
Ethan, he's got a lot of money, mate. Don't worry about that. He's got no money, but he's loaded.
I have no money.
You got no money, eh, Tank?
No.
Here, I'll have to read you my order from RPP Hobby. I'm hopefully gonna be getting up here.
Cool.
So I got my single mud thrasher tire in 1.55 for my spare tire on my Cherokee. The single stamped steel rim for the Cherokee. 1.9 Proline tire compatible internal beadlock rings for the RC four-wheel drive rims, just because they don't work with Proline tires normally. A universal bumper mount for a custom bumper I'm hopefully going to be building.
Okay.
SSD side sliders for my Ascender, and SSD winch bumper for my Ascender, and it totals out to about $166. So, I mean, just waiting for all those parts to come back into stock.
You're waiting for them to come back into stock, so you haven't ordered them yet. You're just waiting.
Yeah. Because I want to do a big order because I can get free shipping, and a lot of times shipping's pretty expensive.
Yeah, when you ship a lot, yeah. That's something I don't like about eBay. Sometimes you bid on the same company or you bid on the same thing, and you pay twice the shipping, but they ship it to you in one box. That's kind of cheating.
You know, I saw this one thing on eBay where it was coming like from overseas. It was like $1, but it cost for shipping over $100.
Yeah, you do have to watch the shipping costs. It's terrible sometimes.
Yeah, if you guys have looked at the RC four-wheel drive construction equipment, their front end loader is like $3,000, and then it's almost another $500 to get it shipped to you.
Dang.
Are you is that Top Shelf Hobbies 3D printed stuff?
Yes, this is one of their cooler from Top Shelf Hobby.
Yeah, I started to look at them like right as they came out as a new company because I was really into that 3D printing stuff. So
Nice.
It's even got their TSH in the back in the bottom of it.
yeah, did you order any of their 3D printed ice?
No, I didn't. I did a giveaway a while back, and they sent me a bunch of stuff, and they sent me some extras. So this is some of the extra I had with it, with a toolbox. So I think this toolbox came with it, and also this other little ice bucket that actually opens up.
Yeah, I mean Top Shelf Hobbies has got a bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah. But no, I'm thinking of ordering some other stuff, and actually ice also. The ice looks kind of cool. But for my garage, I've been collecting different stuff on my desk. Like I found a little tiny car, so and this came from an Easter egg. Those little eggs that you buy, they have gifts in them. And then my son had this, so I kind of stole it from him. It's a jet, so it's like a remote control jet. I keep it on my desk. I started working on my bass. I want to make a plate with it and make it look like the singing bass. Some of you might know what it is, but
Oh yeah, those things are funny.
yeah. So I started working on the plate, but that's something else I just got there and it's sitting there.
One bass from Wally.
Well, that's another thing they had is the propane tank. It looks good. Somebody makes a trailer there and put that in the front of the trailer or even at the back of the truck. It's kind of cool.
So let's count this. We've got the talking fish, looks like a four-wheeler, 2 HPIs, a drift car. So that's
You don't want to
5
start
already.
counting all my cars.
Yeah.
You don't want to start. We're gonna be here all night.
Oh yeah, we got the rat rod, so that's 6. I mean,
There's that one there. There's another short course. There's a vintage truck.
Ooh, vintage.
RC10. There's my Tamiya way up there. That's just a shell. With my TF2, my Wraith, my Summit, my Savage, my Mini 8. I could go 26 times like this, I think.
yeah.
I got this. I got 2 of these little guys.
Oh yeah, aren't
Little
those
short
like
course truck.
1/24th scale?
Yeah. And these are not the brushless. They're just before the brushless came out.
Alright, well,
I also picked up 2 of these little RCs. They're RC in a can. They're the size of a Hot Wheel, but they are actually remote control. Kind of cool.
yeah, I saw this.
They were like $5, so they work. Me and my son take them out once in a while, and we have fun in the living room with it.
Alright, well, thanks for having me, Tank. I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
Thank you. We'll talk to you
See you,
later.
Cappy.
See you later.
Bye.
I picked up these paddle tires from a buddy the other day.
You just send them to Australia, mate. I can have them.
What do you mean? What are you going to do with paddle tires? Your trucks are not even waterproof, and you're scared of the water.
What? I can go up and go on the beach sand.
Oh, on the beach hand. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could go in the beach hand.
Yes,
They're
that's
not meant
correct.
just for water. That's correct.
That's right.
Don't worry, I guess that'll make two of us. I'm not really one to drive through the mud like a mud truck.
There you go.
That's
Same.
something I got to fix again. This is one truck I got to fix again. It's my police truck. It's a Stampede. I got the lights in front. They light up, but they don't flash. But this has a light bar that actually flash. And under the hood, I got a police siren. So when I turn on, and I can actually control it on my remote. As I'm driving, I turn on the siren and the lights. It's kind of cool.
What do you got to fix on it?
I got to glue everything back to the top. Keeps falling, but I didn't use the right. The electronics falling off of it.
I remember you did a bash video with, I think it was one of my guitar tracks, wasn't it?
Last summer I did do a quick video with it, yeah, outside. But see, all the horn, it just, because I was using duct tape to hold it down, it just fell. Well, that's the controller. Here's the horn. So that's the police siren. I usually have that right here.
Pretty nifty.
And it usually has is a switch that you can actually turn it on and off. But these wires are really small. But I've actually tied the two wires together, and I actually, to turn on the horn, I turn on the power. I turn on my my receiver. I'm using a winch controller, and that winch controller is just on or off. So when I turn it on, it turns on. It sends the power.
Cool.
But I got to do.
What's going on, guys?
It's a fun truck. Somebody else come and join us?
Yeah,
Yeah, me, Walt.
Walt.
Oh, you're too quiet, Walt. You got to make a noise, something. Say, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah, I just joined back in. For some reason I got kicked out.
Oh no! If you would have got kicked out, you can't come back in.
Oh, then I must have had some kind of internet connection wrong.
Yeah.
Something like that.
If ever I kick somebody out, let's say there's no more room and somebody wants to come in and I really want that person in. If that never happened, by the way, so far. If I kick somebody out, they cannot join back in. But I can tell, hey, buddy, can you leave for 5 minutes? Let this person in. He wants to say something and come back. Then usually a person is nice enough just to leave.
Okay.
I just got my FFO2 chassis rock-up tank.
Oh yeah.
The one that they've fixed up for me.
Isn't that the one you've been posting on YouTube?
Sorry?
Is that the one you've been posting on YouTube?
No. This is a Tamiya chassis that I won off eBay. It's a FFO2. I specifically wanted the smallest chassis to fit one of the body shells that I've got here, which doesn't fit on my GV chassis. And I sent it up to a good mate of mine up in Queensland, and he fixed it all up for me. But apparently these things are becoming collectors, apparently, and I actually won this for $70 AU, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a damn good price.
For an FFO2, so it's the guy that it's practically brand new looking at it, but the guy that sold it did a bit of hop-ups to it and stuff, full ball bearings and that, because it's a Tamiya, they usually just use the bushings and that. But this is the first time I've looked at it because I sent it straight up to Queensland. It's practically brand new by the looks of it. It's front wheel drive only though. So but I got it specifically for a body shell that's a lot smaller that doesn't fit on my GV chassis. So this is going to be the right size. As I spoke to someone about it, and they said, "Yep, it'll fit straight on." So I'll have to work on putting the and Dave also gave me a axial ESC to go with it as well. So it was nice of him. So yeah, I'll be working on that. But it looks
Cool.
pretty. It looks pretty. Like, yeah, it looks pretty brand new. So, but like I say, it's front wheel drive, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nah, it's going to be more for a scale sort of thing with the body shell that I'm putting on it, which is the MK2 Escort body
Nice.
shell. Yeah, so when I put the body shell on my GV, I had to do like with magnets and stuff, so it'd hold down. But I won't be drilling any holes. I'll probably do the same thing, but it'll fit a lot better on this chassis than it will on the
Do you have it
GV
right
chassis.
there?
Sorry?
Do you have it right there that we can see on video?
Yeah, I can turn my video on. Hang on a minute. Just give me a tick.
Yeah, you're not usually the shy type there. How come your
No,
camera?
no. Yeah, I know that. How you going, guys? I was going through a whole heap of notifications, so I was muting and unmuting myself. So,
It's all good.
well, the motor's at the front here. You can see it now. I've got to look at the name on this motor that he's put. He's put a different motor in this, so it's a weird sort of a name. I've got to have a look again. But that's the front. Now the battery compartment. If I turn it that way, obviously the
It's like an
battery goes in there. Yeah, it goes through there. But what I want to do is I'm going to actually put the battery along the top of the chassis there. So what I'll do is I'll move the ESC. That's just temporary. It's got double-sided tape. I'll move the ESC somewhere, and then I can put a bigger battery, like a 5000 or something, going along the brace there. But the wheels are practically brand new. No, he hasn't really run this by the looks of it. But yeah, like I read up on a couple of things about it, spoke to a couple of people that know about it, but they're saying these, I think, were brought out in the 90s, apparently. So they're becoming a bit of a collectible.
It looks almost like the same chassis type as an M06. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's very plastic though. I mean, you know, it looks like it's metal, but it's very plastic.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to be bashing the hell out of it. That's for sure. But
It's gonna be a shell cream.
no, I'll run it now and again, and yeah, I'll run it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I've got enough RCs here that just sit around, but keep buying them all the time. But I've got my truck that I got the other day, which is the one that I was talking about earlier. That's the VW Touareg Dakar Rally.
Now, is that an Australian company or is that a US company? Who makes
No,
that?
UK.
UK.
I can only find these in Australia and out of the UK that they sell them. So there's a hobby shop here. They had it on sale, like I said. There's a lot of tweaking you need to do to it, that's for sure. The servo saver is going to come off soon, so I'll just replace that with a better horn or something.
Okay.
But nah, for scale looks, if you look at it, it's quite nice. I'm going to do a road trail video with it later on once my battery charges up.
Cool.
So yeah.
Now, just as a quick tip, one thing I noticed, and that really helped me out on a lot of different jobs, is the tape that I use to stick on things under the body. It's basically called muffler tape. So you get those where you buy car parts or whatever. Us, it's Canadian Tire, and they sell muffler tape. This thing is sticky and it's waterproof, and you stick on tape anything on the bottom of your truck, your electrical, and it stays there for years. It's pretty good. So I like this stuff.
What's it called?
Muffler tape. It's kind of an aluminum foil, and that's why when you stick it onto your muffler, the glue actually reacts and actually becomes hard, and you can't take that off. It becomes part of the muffler after you've glued it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I use on my garage door.
Oh yeah. It's good tape.
So, anyways, on Monday this week,
You're really cutting out bad there for your audio.
Yeah, pretty good.
So Ethan, what are you working on other than waiting for parts? And for what kind of truck is it that you're waiting for parts? I guess Ethan is not listening. Any of you guys nitro guys? Can anybody hear me?
What was that?
I said, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I heard.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You on the way,
What are you trying to show us, Walt?
Oh, I was just trying to show you what I did today. I don't know if it's coming up or whatnot.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's fighting me.
Now, what kind of truck is
You
that?
see my truck?
Yeah.
Oh, this is still the Blackfoot. I just actually got everything all screwed down. It's actually still a little wobbly. I got the lights in. I haven't got anything for the front or the tail lights yet. And
That's an original Tamiya Blackfoot?
yes, just the back end is cut off. I'm building it into a tow truck.
Yeah, yeah. But the frame and chassis, it's all Blackfoot.
Yeah.
Cool. Now I can see all the vintage guy cringing in the back. Saying, what? What are you doing? You're being
That's
creative.
okay. I got a second one.
Cool.
And soon a third one.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
You found another one?
Yeah, I'm probably going to buy another one. I'm going to go with Army Green.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Have you guys seen my posts lately? But I did try to actually rock crawl with this thing. It didn't work out too well.
I know. Well, if you don't have locked differential, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. It went playing in the mud a little bit. Kept flipping over, if you could tell.
Oh yeah?
Still got all the mud and everything on it.
I'm just actually on your Google page there, mate, looking at some of your pictures.
Yeah, I got the little G.I. Joes and everything on top of the truck.
I'm looking at that. I'm taking the G.I. Joe for a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Did you scare G.I. Joe? Poor guy.
Oh, you mean the cover guys? Yeah, I don't have any of them. Not with me, down my dad's.
Alright.
I just added you to the Google thing. I thought I live on Google Plus, but I'll subscribe to your channel too while I'm at it.
What was it?
13 subs. Make it 14 now.
Oh, okay.
And Ethan. Is Ethan still there? I've subscribed to you, Ethan, and James. I'll have a look at you now. Just get out of here.
Yay, new subscribers.
Oh, well, why not?
I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to all of you.
James.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Add YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know if my dad's gonna pop on. I invited him. Thing. He's gonna show off his little collection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I jump on him.
Alright, sorry guys.
Oh, I'm still presenting Walt. Sorry about that, guys. I had Walt on presenter.
Oh.
Well, anyways, let me know if my audio's cutting out bad.
Huh?
Oh, you're back now.
Oh, the camera.
Yeah, but anyways, on
Yeah.
Monday this week, my rock
my
slider broke
my end
off.
of the show.
Just a minute there. James Hunt. I'll just mute James Hunt for a little bit. Okay, go ahead, Ethan, because your audio is low, but we can hear you.
Yeah, so anyways, on Monday, my rock slider broke off my SCX-10, and it was one of the nice RC four-wheel drive ones.
Really? You broke them off?
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I posted it on the Scale Builders Guild, and a lot of people said that there was barely any weld on that, so I emailed up RC four-wheel drive, and then today package showed up in the mail, and I got a brand new set for free. They
Cool.
didn't even want the old set back, so I'm like, that was really nice.
Yeah, RC four-wheel drive is good for that once in a while. They're pretty good for customer satisfaction and all that. I guess a lot of people at the beginning weren't happy, but they've really stepped it up and are helping out a lot of guys.
Yeah.
The police truck is almost ready to go. I need somebody to chase. Anybody want to come down here so I can chase you with my police truck?
No, I'm not going to snow, mate. I've got good weather here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we got like 20 centimeters yesterday.
Yeah, Kevin
Crazy.
Larson's got to be getting about 10 or something.
Crazy for this time of year.
Alright, over to my Yeti. Just try not to ram me too hard. That body tends to break apart.
I'm sorry for the short notice for this hangout. I decided last minute, well, driving from Toronto, driving here, I said, maybe I should do one. I was talking to Jack. He said, yeah, sure, make one. So I decided to make one tonight.
Me,
And I
you
think,
decided you decided to do one. I was the one who gave you the idea.
and Ethan was asking me. I think it was Ethan that messaged me a while back asking me to do one before he goes back from his
Yeah,
vacation.
I got school off this week.
Okay. I tried to do one this weekend, but I just got too busy.
Yeah, that's fine.
There, my horn is all hooked up, and my for my horn there's a little box for it. It's all waterproof. It's up in the ceiling and all glued up. Now I only have two wires, one for the horn and one for the lights, and I can manually turn them on or off with the remote. Kind of cool.
Are you gonna be able to cook eggs inside of that lid with all that muffler tape this summer?
I'll be able to what?
Cook eggs inside of your lid with all your muffler tape.
Maybe, yeah, with the heat and the sun. Yeah, maybe. There's a comedian everywhere. There's a comedian born every day. It doesn't mean they're funny. Maybe I can put it in there and make some noise. Some noise from you guys.
I tried to share some pictures of my Cherokee in the Hangout thing, so if you guys want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, they came up, mate. I had a look at them.
But still just need the spare tire.
Oh yeah.
And then that's pretty much it.
So why don't we do a roll call for people that don't know people? I'm from Canada, Eastern Canada. Walt, where are you from?
I am from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Jack, where are you from?
Skippy Land.
Australia. James, I
Land
can't
down under,
remember.
mate.
Mike is muted right now.
Skippy Land, mate. I'm a Skippy.
Yeah, Skippy. Ethan, you're from the U.S. also?
Yeah, right in Michigan. West Michigan.
Cool. I think Ethan is from the U.S. also. I can't remember.
Yep, USA, Michigan. Not really much with RC around me. I mean, got the local track and all, but.
Okay. See if I can find a remote control of this thing now.
You sure that's the right one? I'm sure you got like 30 more of those.
Damn.
Okay, I haven't turned this for a long time, so let's see what's going to happen if I hit the power. Nothing. Other than that. You got steering. Now, if I remember, it's my horn. There's my lights.
Cool.
Nice picture, Walt.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
cool.
should do that.
Hey?
Hey, I think I know someone with a rat rod.
Yeah, I've been seeing a couple of guys doing it now. Every time someone do that.
And the lights actually, there's a switch on it, but I locked it at this one. But if you take it off and hit it again, the mode change. You can have it like a Night Rider or this way, and the rear also changes. This one has this color. It's blue and orange at the back. This one has that, and that one has this in the front.
Is that your rat rod, Ethan?
Oh no, I don't have one.
Oh, that's Walt. Did he put that up? Is that yours, Walt, is it?
Nah, it's just a picture that I found on Facebook. It's pretty
That's
cool.
mad. Yeah, yeah, look at that. That's crazy.
That'd be kind of cool to see it or see.
Yeah.
Pretty neat, like rock bouncer.
Maybe I should put the paddle tire on this truck and have fun with it in the snow.
How big are those tires?
Well, they're about the size of a 2.2 or 1.9. Let's see. They're about the size of a 1.9. Same diameter as a 1.9, or pretty close to it.
Yeah.
They're thicker, but I don't think they fit on the slash because I don't think because the inside for the knuckles, they need to be a certain size.
Mm.
Leave the battery in there, and maybe tomorrow I can do a video. Haven't done it in a long time with this guy. I almost sold a bunch of truck last year, but you get attached to these little guys. Now that they're on the shelf, they don't cost me money, so no reason to get rid of them.
And plus, too, you built them.
Yeah, you put your own little custom thing on them. So.
Yeah. Just like me with this thing. I'm not letting this thing go.
Yeah. Still got dirt from the last time I took it out.
Yeah, I remember the last video I did with that. I think you were going through the, you were doing some jumps with it and you took it through water.
Okay. So how was everybody's day?
Pretty good. I mean, for spring break, got really crappy weather, but
Yeah. And I was supposed to start digging today, but it started downpouring like crazy.
so you're gonna start digging.
Yeah, I'm actually we live on the side of a mountain and everything, and I'm doing this new parking lot area. So I have to cut, like, we're gonna probably put maybe 2-3 cars, maybe right there. So I have to remove all the dirt and everything.
Oh,
That's where my video was when I was messing around with the thing. That was when I was actually beginning.
mhm.
Almost done with it. Got a couple more days, and then have another parking lot up here.
So, any of you guys got skill rock crawling courses?
I like the Bill one.
Oh, I'm in the city, so I've got nothing around here. I've always got to travel a bit to get any type of terrain. All I see is just road out here. There's nothing.
You built any mall crawlers then?
I remember when I got my Jeep built, nearly 2 years ago now. I just didn't like crawling or trailing or anything. I couldn't stand it. I was just more. Back then, I was doing a lot of FPV stuff and planes and stuff, and then I just started looking at videos and that, different Jeeps and all that, and then thought, hey, I could make an FPV system, put an FPV system on a Jeep. So I ended up getting that Jeep that you see was my picture. I know a few people don't like the colour scheme on it. The guy that built it for me, we were laughing about different things, and we started talking about safaris and all that sort of stuff, and we just came up with a zebra theme for it. And I know there's a few people that don't like it, but hey, it is what it is, as he used to say. But no, it's not a bad Jeep. But around here, there's nothing here to crawl. Not, usually I'll just go down the lake and that, or if I go up to the country, I'll take it with me.
What do you mean nothing to crawl on? You have one of the biggest rock in the world, the big red rock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's miles away from your tank.
How far away is that from where you are?
Well, I'm at the bottom of Australia, and Ayers Rock is in the middle of Australia, slap bang. You're looking at 1, 2, practically 3 states away, so 3,000-4,000 kilometres, maybe a bit more.
Okay.
It's just slap bang in the middle of the desert out there, so, or outback, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of skippies out there, mate.
I guess. I've seen some pretty neat skippies fighting in the city. It was kind of cool. Videos
Yeah, the
on
one on the
YouTube.
street, yeah, in the local street, yeah, there's two having a bit of a brawl. Yeah.
Now, how often do they come in the city?
They're actually, hey Tomo,
So-
Dave's come in. How are you, mate? Well, about from here where I am, I'm about 8 kilometres from my main city here, Melbourne. From where I am, to see kangaroos, you're looking at about probably from here 25 kilometres.
Now, you call them sea kangaroos? What kind of kangaroos?
No. Look, I said I'm close to the city.
Oh, okay, city. Okay, sorry.
So I'm 8 kilometres from my main city, Melbourne. Right.
Okay.
And from where I am, if I was to come across a kangaroo, I've got to travel about 25k, which is, I don't know what that is in miles. What's that in miles? 19 miles or something?
I'm in kilometers, man. I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
It's only the
Same.
states that are backward and don't want to change.
But no, I saw that video of them fighting. It's more of a territory thing. That's why they're fighting.
Okay.
So one of the kangaroos jumped into someone else, another kangaroo's hood.
There's two things in the state that they don't want to change. Their metric system. They don't want to change the metric, and they always want to use that stupid fillet head screwdriver. They don't want to use Robinson. They want to use fillets. It's a US thing. So Devolution, what have you been up to?
Bugger
Long
all,
time no
mate.
chat.
Yeah, that's been, hasn't it? I've been fixing some stuff up for Jack and that. About all.
Yeah, like I told you before, I rocked up just before.
That escort get on there?
Yeah, you done a top job there, mate. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
I'd send it to check in the mail.
pretty funny how they both say that.
Yeah. Oh, all good as long as you got it.
Slap on the
So,
boat, wasn't it?
The tank.
There we go. I'm ready for some snow fun tomorrow. The other
Nice wheels, yeah.
paddles didn't fit. The other paddles didn't fit, but these one did.
So the knuckles didn't get inside the wheel wells, huh?
No, the knuckles didn't fit. The other ones inside the wheel wells.
Yeah.
It might fit on the Wraith, so I'm going to try it on the Wraith.
Oh,
This summer, if I think about it, last year I wanted to try it, but what I want to do is I want to take these paddles before they get too used up, and I want to go to my brother's lake and see how far I can go on the lake with it. Hydroplaning.
Hi guys. Someone listen me?
What's that?
It's Chris.
I can't see myself back. Stan. How you going, mate? So you're gonna go hydroplaning with that, tank?
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose it in the lake.
Yeah. I'll just see you get to the lake, you get to the edge of the lake, it'll just sink.
Yeah. So what I want to help it float, I'm probably going to fill the cab with foam.
Take a fishing rod with your tank.
Yeah.
Like an empty bottle.
Fish it out, mate.
Do us all a favor and film it.
So he'll be filming it, don't worry about that. He's not stupid, he'll be filming it. It's going to be a
Excuse
fail
me,
film.
François?
Oui.
C'est Christophe.
Christophe.
It's Chris 21 from France.
Bonjour, monsieur. From France.
Is that
It's the first time I use Hangout.
Oh. C'est la première fois que tu utilises Google Hangout?
Yeah.
Oui, c'est la première fois. D'habitude, je regarde vos discussions, mais je n'ai jamais participé.
Ah ben merci, bienvenue. Quelle heure qu'il est? Où est-ce que t'es?
Il est 5h moins 10.
Du matin?
Oui.
It's almost 5 o'clock where he is.
In the morning.
Yeah, in the morning.
Oh, he's pretty enthusiastic. I've got to hand it to him for that.
Yeah.
Where's Xavier? He's the all-nighter.
Yeah, Xavier's supposed to show up. Joe Conti also. He told me it was going to be 3 a.m., but he's still going to try, but he's not here. But I'm glad some of you are actually doing the effort and getting up and joining in. It's fun.
Before I was... Before I was working on my RC scale.
Cool.
Maybe I will need to sleep a little.
And Chris31, your regular YouTube that you have videos on, what is it? Is it Chris31 or I thought it was something different?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understand.
Ton YouTube channel, c'est quel que tu utilises d'habitude? C'est pas Stan, c'est quoi que tu utilises pour ton YouTube?
Stan, it's Stan Getz, world famous saxophone man.
Okay.
Is that Chris Productions, is it?
Yeah, Chris
Yes.
31 Production.
I remember Chris a long time ago using one of my tracks on his video. You remember that, Chris? You used one of my guitar tracks on your video.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, you got a lot of good video, teaching video on tires, on ESC, on a whole bunch of stuff. T'as beaucoup d'informations sur ton YouTube. C'est bon. Cool.
So,
Sorry for my English, it's not easy to speak.
You're doing fine, mate. I can understand you.
So the tank's complaining about our U.S. not using the metric system, but in Canada, what do you call 2x4?
So the tank's complaining about our U.S. not using the metric system, but in Canada, what do you call 2x4?
Universally the same. Right, the car size and wheels, the rim size is measured
I was hearing a lot of loop back or something. It was weird.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for having me, though.
Cool. Thank you for
See
coming.
you later, Ethan.
Catch you later,
Talk
man.
to you later.
See ya, mate.
$10:49, and we're doing not bad for the time.
What time did you start it?
It's 9 o'clock. I'll try to take a picture of my police car. Hate that when the horn comes on when I turn it on. Especially when everybody's sleeping in the house.
Oh, Dave, did you send me some extra posts with that?
the other ones that came on it,
Right.
and the grey ones are the ones off my Long Willie.
So did you change them out, or
Yeah,
you already changed them? Okay.
you just stand them up right.
Yeah.
So Dave, are you gonna get the Jack, Outback Jack, for an adventure at your house?
Eventually, I guess.
Well, Dave will be one. Well, I think Dave will be one of the last ones.
Yeah. He lives closer to you, right?
Well, he's 2 states away from me. He's up north.
Okay.
So so when he leaves, Pascal, his maker, will get him last. So far, he hasn't been obviously not lost yet, but touch wood, doesn't get lost in post. But there's 2 more guys in America. There's 2 more guys in America. Then he's off to Europe, and
Okay, good.
there's a few in Europe. So, and then when Pascal gets him, then he'll send him to Dave, and then from Dave, he'll come back to I can't remember who's going to get him after Dave.
Okay.
And then it'll come back to me, but that's still another year away or so. So another year and a half. Still a long way to go, mate.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, JD Borgman at the moment, he's, like I said to you yesterday, he's got him for this weekend because he wants to put an extra shot in there. So once he's finished, he'll be off to the new guy that came in, Jeff Thorpe.
Cool.
And after that, there's two more, and then he'll go off to Europe. So far, so good. Bit of delays here and there, but that's going to be expected. But that's all about fun, you know. But it's just fun. That's what it's about. People having fun with him.
Yeah.
And I do the funny thingies or whatever.
For some of the people that are watching and not sure what we're talking about here, where Jack sent a picture to not a picture, a little guy, a little 6 or 7 inch figure, left Australia and came to us, and so he left Australia and he came all the way to my house where I live, and then from where I am he went to Ottawa and then to Arnprior, and then he went here in North Bay, and then from North Bay he came all the way down to the States, to Atlanta, and then he went to Virginia Beach, and then to Columbia, he's going all over the place, and right now he's over here in Fredericksburg.
It's a chief wolf.
Yeah. And then he's going to be going to another guy, which you gave me the address I have to put here. But then he's going to be going to LA, to San Francisco. And then from here he's going to go back to the to Europe. And once he's done with Europe, then he's going to go back to Australia. So it's a nice trip for that little guy. It's too bad you're not doing the trip, Jack.
I'll probably be assassinated in some places, mate. Yeah.
All
it's all
the
good fun.
All the info can be found in the, I think it's your group in Google Plus, which is RC Brotherhood. So ask to be joined, or just do a comment here and see if you want to join our community in Google Plus, and I'm sure Jack's going to be happy to let you in.
Yeah.
As long as you play fair and be nice and not say bad thing about people.
Yeah, I've been in it. It's been real nice and everything.
Yeah. That's what I like about this community, this RC community that's everywhere around. Everybody's willing to help out everybody. And if they have tips and tricks, people are willing to give it to you and help you out, and not ask for money of it. That's what's nice about it.
Well, my good old mate there, Dave's a perfect example, really. You know, I've known the bloke a long time, and he's done a lot of stuff for me, and I give him, I've given him a lot of donations and things, and when he does a job, I pay him for it, so he doesn't, you know. Like he did with the FF02 chassis there, I sent him up some money and stuff, and but yeah, he knows, he knows his thing, and I mean, I don't know too much about modding and all this sort of stuff, but no, I appreciate the work that he does, and other people that have helped me out, and but no, Dave's a great bloke, and I try to help him out as much as I can.
Cool.
And that's what it's about.
I posted when I was in Toronto, I took my truck and I went in the creek, and it was kind of fun. It wasn't too deep. There was a not bad current also. So I went through it and I did, there's 2 spots I think I did a video of it using my phone. And I posted one on my Instagram account, and it's kind of nice scenery, seeing the truck going through the water. And I like going through the water, not as a submarine, but just going in it, and it's so cool. It's something that's kind of fun, and you should waterproof your truck, Jack, and give it a try. It's fun.
Well, you saw what happened when I did that trial down by the lake.
Ah, you flipped it in the water, so.
Yeah. And everything stuffed up, on it. And I thought I had everything closed up. I thought I had everything closed up, and then it just, I took it out once. I should have actually kept it rolling a bit to see actually when I picked it out of the water. I did have a couple of photos of it, but it was quite funny. I was actually laughing, but that was the only.
Guys, just a question. Do you know if it's possible to active subtitles?
Oh, to activate subtitles?
Yes.
I don't think it does subtitle live. Subtitles are available only after it's been published, and they can actually, it takes a little bit for it to process, but live, I don't think you can do that. Je pense pas que ça marche pour les sous-titres live. Mais si tu comprends pas quelque chose, tu as juste à le demander, je vais le répéter. I told him if he doesn't understand, just say it and I'll repeat it.
Yeah, it's a bit hard with people not understanding that.
Puis,
maybe they should.
Mon français, c'est un français canadien. C'est un français canadien, mon français, ça fait que j'espère que tu comprends un peu ce que je dis.
Oui, je comprends.
Okay. Told him my French is a French Canadian, which is completely different than French France. Me and my wife went to France once, and I said something to the guy at the store, and the guy go, "What?" So I repeated it, and the guy go, "What?" He didn't understand. Then my wife repeats to me. She repeats exactly the same thing I said, and then the guy goes, "Oh, okay." And then I turn to my wife. I go, "What? That's the same thing I said." And then she goes, "Never mind. Just keep going." It was fun. It was just fun.
Different dialect,
yeah, different dialect altogether.
And François, maybe you use Téléguidé Québec. It's a forum. You know it?
I've been on there a little bit, browsing through it, but I'm not a guy of forum and posting a lot on forums and all that. Maybe 6 years ago I would have, but now with my little guy, he's 6, he takes too much of my time for me to spend on forums.
Because they spoke French, but from Quebec.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people from France actually come and work in Ontario and Quebec. Just yesterday, I was in Toronto, and there was a girl working at the desk for the hotel, and she spoke French, and she came from the south of France. She enjoyed it over here, and she was here just to work for a little while.
Sorry, Jack, but when you speak, I don't understand.
Sorry, mate. That's just probably my Aussie
accent.
Aussie. Yeah.
For example, my French, I am in the south of France, and it's a big difference between.
Yeah, I can understand you though. I can understand you though, Chris. But I'm sorry about my accent, mate.
Il dit qu'il comprend, par exemple. Lui, il comprend très bien. Il est désolé
but it's interesting to meet with this.
Cool.
That's what the hangouts are about.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
Meet new
fun.
people.
Lately, it's been a lot of different guys coming on and all that. And some of you have your camera active, some of you don't. Doesn't really matter. As long as we get together and we chit chat, and maybe one day, you never know, it might turn out that we need each other in real life. So.
Yeah. Well, I said to Dave the other day, I said, instead of me sending you stuff up to get fixed, just move down to Melbourne, you'll be right, mate.
Don't have to
Yeah.
punch on back.
No, that will save on postage, mate.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw the postage on that box. Have they put their prices up? Unbelievable,
Yeah.
they are.
They've
Unbelievable.
been slack. They're paid more.
It's a box like that would have been cheaper for me to send to the UK than to send it, or you send it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to go overseas than it is to fly to Melbourne.
It's ridiculous. Because when I saw it, I thought, hey, they put their prices up $3-4.
Yeah, well, there's extra weight of the ESC and the survey mounts and posts and shit, I guess. So.
Yeah, well, they'll do anything to get more money off you.
Yep.
And you spoke about radio before. What kind of receiver did you use?
Un receveur, pourquoi?
Vous avez discuté des récepteurs et des émetteurs de radio, non? C'était pas le sujet ce soir?
Non, ce soir, c'était juste ouvert, puis on discute de n'importe quoi.
Ah, d'accord.
On discute de téléguidés points, des remote control, entre mots, c'est ça que j'avais marqué, juste parler de téléguidés. Il n'y a pas de sujet, il n'y avait pas rien. So he was thinking that I had a subject tonight on receivers and emitters for RC control. So
yeah.
no, there was no subject. It's just let's talk regular RCs.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want to know? I use Spectrum and all that. Some people use Futaba and they swear by it. It all depends what your friend uses. I use a Spectrum because my brother actually uses Spectrum. And if one of my parts breaks, I can go get a receiver from him or a transmitter from him. We can swap things. It makes it easier for me. That's the main reason I bought Spectrum. But I was going to buy Futaba, but I decided to go Spectrum.
Futaba all the way for me, mate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't like Spectrum. Especially for slow sticks. Just had too much problems with them. But Futaba, never had a problem. But
even for your car jack, do you use stick radio or you use pistol grip?
I've got for my Jeep, I use my my Futaba stick radio.
A stick radio? Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys use the stick radio for cars.
Yeah, you can use them.
Yeah.
You get better range. You can get better range with them. Now you can get better range with them.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, mine.
Mine
I've got. Well, mine one I got. My longest FPV was it's on my other channel, but I got 1.6 kilometers.
Wow, that's good.
That's
as am I concerned, I use Futaba on all.
Chris.
Tu utilises Futaba, mais est-ce que tu uses le pistolet ou d'avoir les deux joysticks?
Pistolet with 4PK SR. Very good device, just a receiver expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like the JR radios. They're pretty pricey as well.
I just noticed all the pictures you've been sending.
Yeah, I've been looking at them. It's Wild's been sending them down.
Yeah, these are all my dad's ones. My little brother just took all the pictures and everything and sent me them. My
Yeah.
dad's actually right now. He's not gonna join.
What's that one I commented on there, mate? That's nice. That one.
Which one was that?
It's the wagon, I think. It's the.
The first one?
Forgot. Yeah.
It's a T-Max, I think it was. A T-Max. That's the one I've been driving around.
Yeah. What's the body shell? What's the body shell there?
It's a Ford. What's it, Ford? Actually, I forget. I remember it's something Ford. It's like it's a real nice.
It's pretty vintage. It's a vintage body, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm into the old sort of vintage stuff.
Yeah, there's that one's actually gas. Yeah, that one's actually gas. Right now we need to get a motor for it because the motor blow for that one.
Oh yeah.
That's really the only thing that's the only thing to be done and then be up and running again. I have not.
1.5 scale, is it?
What was that?
Is that a 1.5 scale?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a I think 1/8. I think it is.
So that's nitro.
Yeah, that's nitro.
Nitro. Okay. When you said gas, I thought it was a petrol truck.
So guys, I wish you a good night and good evening.
You too.
No worries, Chris. Good to see you, mate.
Yes, because in 2 hours I must wake up to go to the job.
No point going to sleep then.
We'll talk to you later. Please for dropping by.
I think today it will difficult.
Yeah. 2 hours sleep, eh?
Bye bye and see you later.
See you, Chris. See ya, mate.
Bye.
Chris.
See you later.
See ya, mate.
And for the last one that I sent is actually a gas one too. It's the same one. It's actually I think that's a Savage. Yeah, Savage.
Okay.
I might be getting them mixed up. I haven't seen them and I haven't talked about them in a long time. It's been 4 years since I actually thought about those two. So last time they've been run too.
That last picture you sent, is that a Hornet?
Hornet? Let's check it out.
That looks like an RC10.
The last picture he sent.
That's an RC10. It's not a Hornet.
Oh, okay.
It's one older than this guy, a little older than this guy. This is an 80s one. But his is older.
Let's go pan. Let's go pan. Yeah, that's a go pan. My dad picked it up. There's something wrong with the motor, I think it was. Or he blew out the motor, so he's trying to get a new motor for it, or something like that.
So your dad's in RCs also?
Yeah. All those ones are actually his. There's a lot more that are not shown. My little brother didn't take a whole bunch of pictures.
So how come he didn't jump in?
I think he was tired from work and everything, so he went to sleep.
He's getting old.
Yeah.
We're all getting old.
And Ethan sent one of his pictures up also. What he's
Yeah,
working
the
on.
Jeep.
Yeah. Cool.
I like that wagon body. I like that.
Yeah, it's too bad.
That's my favorite. But my dad wants to put a school bus on it.
School bus.
Speaking of school bus, And he's gonna put it on her. But every time I'm down there, I'm putting that body on it. That's the reason why I have the Blackfoots. Soon, very soon, I'm probably gonna start building a 6x6.
Cool.
Military style one. Old, very old trucks. Military trucks. Semi ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys building 6x6 and things like that, so it's kind of cool. They're a nice truck with the big long flat bed or different kind of military trucks. You can basically put anything on it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, especially out of the mountains here. That's why I need some 6x6. Not two-wheel drive.
Well, you remember Tank? I was close to buying one of those 6x6s. Remember?
Yeah. Well, the one I wanted is the 8x8 because I like being different than anybody. Everybody's got a 6x6, so I said, screw that, I'll go 8x8.
There are a couple of real Starlink. This is the other thing.
Oh, he just sent me a bunch of more.
So you're gonna inherit all those RCs from your dad, or you got a waiting line other brothers to wait for?
To be honest with you, there's only about maybe two of them I would grab. Is the one that the first picture I sent, the gas one, and maybe his white tow truck that he's gonna build.
So he's still building?
Yes. We haven't really built anything too far, and he got two Ravens.
Cool.
Forget the names of them.
I'm just gonna tape.
Well, when I'm gonna end this broadcast, we can stay on a little bit, but I'll stop the broadcast anyways. But if you guys want to stay and chit chat, you're more than welcome. Thanks for jumping in. I try to do these every month or so, if I'm not too busy. Anyways, thanks for joining and thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next RC Talk.
Catch you later.
Thanks.